Hello, hello, people of the internet. I have been absent for several weeks, as the three of you that follow have maybe noticed. Probably not. I have a few updates, actual updates, and not like daily, slight, incremental changes updates, but like significant. That's the word. Um, Excuse my slurping. And this is my third cup of coffee. Second cup. I don't know. It's a very large cup. I don't know if you can see hand size. Um, so it's kind of like my third cup. I will go chronologically as much as possible. So a few weeks ago, I got, or maybe like 3 weeks ago, I got a opportunity to help out a little bit of friend with some stuff. Keep it vague, but basically, I was busy a lot during the day and getting a bit of cash, um, and so it was a win-win all around. Anyway, that being said, I was obviously out of the house for most of the day, which was really good for mental health, physical health, just life in general. As I have been sort of like cooped up here, doing not a lot since October, and it is now March. Just anyway, so I've been doing that. That was really good. That was a good like change of pace. There was a bit of a lead up to it, whatever, and then 2 weeks solid of just like not being in just in the house doing nothing all day, which was quite good. And then the week following that, I think just being away, I got inspired to like do a bunch of stuff. So last week, even though I was at home, not working, not really doing anything, I got a lot done. I did my taxes. I did a few little projects around the house that I'd been thinking about cleaning, tidying up. I started the packing process for our trip at the end of March and organized a few things, got in touch with some people. I can't remember everything, but it seemed like it was a very productive week last week. And I am going to do another video which is a bit more themed, generally themed, and not just talking about myself and what's going on in my life in a moment. But yes, anyway, during all this happening, I was back and forth with a motor yacht, which is currently in Montenegro. It's a Maltese flag, a Dutchman, which is great. Love a Dutch boat. Those Italian boats, it's like they look very pretty, but they're so problematic. It's like buying a Ferrari. It is, yeah. Won't get into it, but very good build, not huge. I will be the only crew member, so jumping ahead, I got a job offer. I got an interview. It was a whole thing. In the end, I got a job offer for being the sole crew member, which in some ways can be problematic, possibly. But we'll see. I think they're very flexible. I think that if it doesn't work, they will be open to getting another crew member, even if just for like a momentary time, because I know they're going to be doing a lot of transits. The plan is Montenegro, Croatia, back to Montenegro, then uh, possibly down through Albania and some stuff like that. On the way to Greece, whatever's on the way to Greece between Montenegro and there. I don't know. I'm not good at geography. Um, but the plan is not to do any big passages. It's going to be go for like a day, find somewhere to anchor or moor for the night, and so on until we get to Greece. eventually. I think Croatia is more just like a hangout, trial, see how it goes sort of situation because it's not that far from Montenegro. Um, yeah, we'll see how it goes. After Greece, the plan is to winter in Turkey. So we'll see. I don't know what's going on with the world, with the Middle East. Is Turkey involved? Are they going to change that? Anyway, that's many months from now. So by then, maybe everything has changed. But I believe Turkey is okay. Right. Um, but yeah, so I will be starting with them in the middle of April. I have my trip at the end of March to the middle of April. So in the way that it worked out, they really wanted me to start at the beginning of April, but I was like, no, I already have this trip planned. So I didn't think I was gonna get the job because obviously scheduling problems is like a major thing. But they're not actually moving anywhere in April. They're just doing some stuff which would have been beneficial for me to be there, and I understand. But that's why I was surprised they went with me. Anyway, I will be there at the middle of April, which means I'm gonna do this trip with my husband, and then I'm not even gonna come back to Gibraltar. I'm gonna go direct from Lisbon to Montenegro. That's the plan. Just because of timing, and actually, it will be better in a way because I yeah, I'm getting more and more anxious about crossing the border. I haven't crossed the border since I arrived. I've just stayed in Gibraltar since October. Have I gone over? Maybe I went over once. I don't think so. Um, but yes, I have sort of like a semi official green light that I can stay in Gibraltar. Um, but there was never any mention about entry and exit privileges. And yeah, so it becomes very sort of, and everything that's going on with the treaty, they're trying to like sort of remove the border, and it's all very up in the air. So immigration is kind of like not doing things more so than they normally don't do things, which is quite a bit. Um, so yeah, in that sense, I think it's actually a good thing. I'm going to be gone for more than 90 days. So when I come back, it'll all be fine. I can go in and out. Maybe there won't be a border by then. Who knows? Also, once we start handing in my application for residency, I can say that I've been working not in Gibraltar, but in Europe, which is always favorable for these people that don't understand that there are people who exist outside of Europe. That seems to be an issue. Um, so, so yeah, that's the update. That's what's going on. It's very good news. Most people are happy for me. My husband is obviously not super happy that I will be gone for 6 months. But it has been a struggle here, staring at the wall, talking to no one, trying to like get moving in a direction when I can literally cannot go anywhere or do anything legally. So, and by do anything, I mean like work for money. Um, so yeah, we've been sort of like progressing through that little challenge there, which I have been sort of very much doing alone. Because I am sort of like alone all day. I think that's why I've been making so many of these videos, slash why I haven't been doing it the last 3 weeks, because I've just been interacting with like people and being outside and doing things outside of this apartment for the last little while, which has been very good. And then yesterday was um, for some reason it was starting to feel like I'm sliding back into this whole thing of just being at home. It's also, you can't really see, but it's very rainy out. So this week is going to be a lot of like being just in the house and back to that sort of thing. So I'm trying to get back into my routine. Yesterday I did my little steps. I hadn't been doing my steps because I've been doing just general exercising, being out of the house, walking around. Everything in Gibraltar's steps anyway, so I don't need to add extra steps. Um, but yeah, once on the weekend, I think Saturday I did the steps, and then Sunday I didn't or something. And then anyway, so yesterday was Monday. Did my steps. I did them today. Went out. Went to the shop. Started looking into trying to get my webcam situation set up. I mean, best case scenario, I can maybe try to see if I can do these online courses a little bit before this trip, just to see if it even exists, if it works, what's happening there. But then I realized I don't have the cable that I need to plug it into this computer, I think. Anyway, I'm going to double check on that. That's going to be my next little thing that I'm trying to get sorted out. Because for whatever reason, the driver in my laptop isn't working or installed properly or something. I don't know. I think it's just never worked. So I've been trying to see if I can get my GoPro to function as the webcam, because obviously with these courses you need a working webcam. So that I'm sort of looking at. I've been making a lot of sourdough bread. That's been a large theme of my life for the last month or so. And we're getting improvements. It's starting to, at the first it was sort of like, eat edible bread, fine, great. But then, you make little adjustments, and now I think I've gotten to a place where I'm like, okay, I think I know the things that are more crucial, less crucial, trying to get the bread that I like, whereas other people enjoy, whatever. But the last one was pretty close, so we're going to work on that. I'm also going to try and freeze my starter, because apparently you can freeze it for up to 6 to 12 months, variably, and it may or may not come back to life, because if I'm going to be gone for 6 months, I can't be trusting someone else to be feeding my starter every week. So I'm going to freeze my starter. I might also try to convince someone else to take it, and then we'll see if it survives with them. So we're separating the starter into like 3 different starters, also because I'm going to, every week we're in a new process of like making bread happen. Unfortunately, the best recipe that I did last time is a bit of a 2 to 3 day process. So you really gotta plan ahead. So now I'm gonna feed the starter, I'm gonna freeze the one, I'm gonna maybe leave one for someone else, and one that is gonna be for tomorrow. I don't really have a lot going on, so I can start that. And then it proofs. The thing that I found the best is it proofing it in the fridge, so that it's not overproofing, and you can leave it there for longer. But there's a bunch of steps that you have to do before you can put it in the fridge, which is very, it takes half a day. Not continually, but going back to it every 20 minutes. Anyway, I won't go too far into the sourdough rant, because you could literally talk about sourdough for years, I think. So that's my update. I hope you're well. I will very shortly be also including a video of more existential theme in a bit. But I might not post that until tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, today is a day for getting back into routines, looking forward to the future, making sure we're moving. We are moving in a direction. And even though before it felt like I was making a lot of steps to move in a direction and not having any results, there is now results. It's baffling. It's unbelievable in a way. Yeah, so everything's actually really good. Really. Weirdly. Everything's good now. So that's interesting. Yeah. See you next time. Peace.